Hey there, my fishing friends and fellow angling enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel, your go-to spot for all things fishing. I'm your host, and I'm thrilled to dive into our weekly fishing forecast. This time, we're casting our nets across the magnificent United States of America for the period from Monday, October 13th to Sunday, October 19th, 2025. This week is going to be a real treat for some of you and a test of patience for others as fall truly settles in and the fish respond to the changing conditions. We're on the cusp of prime fall feeding, where many species are packing on the pounds for winter, but the weather patterns typical for October mean we need to be smart and adaptable. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to adjust your tactics to turn potential slow days into memorable catches. I'm going to break down the why behind the bite, giving you practical, actionable advice that'll help you outsmart those finicky fish. Now let's talk about the stars of the show for this mid-October period. Given the vastness of the USA, I've picked a few key species that are generally active and popular across different regions during this time, and we'll see how their behavior is shaping up for our forecast week. First up, the mighty largemouth and smallmouth bass. October marks one of the most active and rewarding months of the year for bass anglers across the country. As water temperatures cool, bass become more aggressive, actively following baitfish into creeks, coves, and shallower areas to feed heavily before winter. You'll find them concentrating near structure like stumps, grass edges, and submerged timber. The key is to focus on baitfish movement, as bass are often found wherever forage is present. For tactics, start your mornings with faster, more aggressive presentations like walking topwater baits or buzz baits, especially on warmer days, to cover water and find active fish. As the day progresses, or if the bite slows, transition to slower, finesse techniques like Texas rigs or Carolina rigs with soft plastic worms or creature baits, targeting deeper humps and channel edges where bass might retreat. Matching the size of your presentation to the forage is critical during October, as bass can be selective. Next, let's talk about walleye. These toothy critters are in full pre-winter feeding mode. In early fall, walleye will often move into shallower water to enjoy slightly warmer temperatures, but as the water cools further, they are more likely found in deeper water. Look for them around rocky points, humps, main lake points, and breaks, particularly near river channels in larger systems. You can also find them from shore in the fall, especially during significant moon phases. For presentations, trolling with deep-diving crankbaits can be highly effective for covering water and finding those deeper fish. For a more vertical approach, try jigging spoons, blade baits, or bucktail jigs tipped with live minnows or shiners. When fishing deeper, live bait rigs like Lindy rigs or bottom bouncers with crawlers or minnows can also be deadly. Remember, walleye are light sensitive, so low light periods like dawn and dusk are often prime, even if they're deeper during the brightest parts of the day. Then we have our beloved panfish, mainly crappie and perch. These guys really school up in the fall, making for some fantastic action once you find them. As water temperatures drop, fish are more likely to congregate in and around green vegetation like pondweed, as well as in deeper brush piles, submerged timber, bridge pilings, and creek channels. On warmer, calmer days, they might push into shallower cover. Small jigs, typically 1/16 to 1/8 ounce, rigged with soft plastic grubs in colors like white, chartreuse, or black, are incredibly effective. A small minnow under a bobber is also a classic, foolproof method. The key here is to locate those schools. Once you do, you can often stay on them for a while. And for our coastal anglers, striped bass are absolutely on fire in October. Fall is widely regarded as the best season to fish along the Jersey Shore, for example. These powerful fish are actively migrating and aggressively feeding on baitfish like mullet and bunker along the coast. You'll find them in bays, estuaries, and the surf zone, especially near inlets, jetties, and rocky structures where baitfish are bottlenecked. Large plugs such as poppers, darters, and swimming plugs are excellent for covering water and enticing a strike. Big soft plastics on heavy jig heads or swim shades can also produce fantastic results, and of course, live bait like eels or fresh bunker can be irresistible to larger stripers. The ocean water can even be warmer than the air in fall, making for comfortable conditions and active fish. All right, my friends, let's get into the nitty-gritty, the theoretical basis of our forecast. Understanding these elements is what turns a casual angler into a consistently successful one. First, the weather. For October in the USA, we expect a generally crisp and refreshing autumn atmosphere. Average daily temperatures typically range from around 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius to 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 21 degrees Celsius. However, remember the USA is vast. Northern states and mountainous regions will definitely be cooler, while southern states like Florida can still enjoy temperatures reaching the high 20s Celsius. For our forecast week, expect a mix. We'll likely see some cooler days, especially after a front, but the possibility of an Indian summer period with unseasonably warm summer-like weather in the central belt is always there in October. Atmospheric pressure will likely be variable, as autumn often brings passing weather fronts. A stable high-pressure system usually means clear skies and a steady bite, while falling pressure can often trigger a pre-front feeding frenzy. Rapidly rising pressure, however, typically makes fish lethargic. Wind speeds average around 10 to 20 kilometers per hour or 6 to 12 miles per hour. A moderate chop on the water from a light breeze can be your friend, breaking up direct sunlight and disorienting baitfish, making your lure more appealing. However, strong cold winds, especially from the northwest, can push fish deeper and slow the bite. Precipitation in October is generally moderate and scattered, not usually heavy or prolonged. Overall, decreasing daylight hours and dropping temperatures trigger that instinctive feeding response in fish as they prepare for winter. Now let's talk water temperature. This is a huge factor in fall fishing. Water temperatures across USA lakes and coastal areas will be steadily dropping from their summer highs. Average October sea temperatures in the Great Lakes, for example, range from about 53 to 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 11 to 18 degrees Celsius. In other major lakes and rivers, temperatures can vary widely, but expect them to be in the mid-50s to mid-60s Fahrenheit or 13 to 19 degrees Celsius in many areas. This continuous drop is what sparks the intense fall bite as fish realize winter is coming. This also drives fish deeper into more stable temperature zones, but they'll readily move shallow to feed, especially on warmer afternoons. Another critical phenomenon in fall is turnover, where the cooling surface water sinks and mixes the entire water column. This can temporarily affect oxygen levels and water clarity, often resulting in dirty or brownish water, which means you might need to use brighter, more contrasting bait colors. Next, the moon phase. For our forecast period from October 13th to October 19th, 2025, we are primarily in a waning moon phase. On Monday, October 13th, we have the last quarter moon, with about 51 to 53% of its surface illuminated. From the 14th onwards, the moon will be a waning crescent, with its illumination steadily decreasing, heading towards the new moon on October 21st. Many anglers believe that the last quarter phase can be a very productive time for fishing, as the gravitational pull during these transitional periods can stimulate fish activity. While the waning crescent is sometimes considered a slower period, major feeding windows can still occur around moonrise and moonset, especially during low light conditions. The approaching new moon often precedes a burst of activity, so don't count out the end of our week. Finally, general fish activity. For this time of year, across the USA, most predatory species are in an aggressive pre-winter feeding pattern, often referred to as a fall feeding frenzy. Fish instinctively know they need to conserve energy for the leaner winter months. They are more selective now, choosing larger prey that offers a bigger payoff for less effort. So, larger lures and slower, more deliberate presentations can be incredibly effective. Many species, especially panfish, will begin to school up, making them easier to locate in numbers once you find them. Cold fronts will temporarily shut them down, but Indian summer days can turn the bite on fire, especially in the shallows. All right, my friends, let's get to the moment you've all been waiting for, the daily breakdown. Based on typical October patterns and our lunar influence, here's what I see for our week across the USA. Remember, regional variations will apply, but this gives you a great general idea. Monday, October 13th. We kick off the week with promising conditions. Expect generally mild temperatures, perhaps in the mid-60s, Fahrenheit, with mostly clear skies and a light south wind. Atmospheric pressure should be stable. The last quarter moon phase often signals good activity. Clev, good to excellent. Reason, stable weather, favorable moon phase, and fish actively feeding. This is a great day to target base in shallower areas or walleye on humps. Tuesday, October 14th. Still looking good. Temperatures will remain mild, potentially climbing slightly higher, maybe reaching 68 degrees Fahrenheit with partly cloudy skies. The wind might shift to the southwest and pick up a bit, creating a nice chop. Pressure will likely be slightly falling ahead of an approaching front. Clev, good, potentially excellent before the front. Reason, fish often sense an approaching change in weather and will feed aggressively. The increased wind chop can also break up light and stimulate the bite. Wednesday, October 15th. Here's where things shift. A cold front is expected to move through, bringing a noticeable drop in temperatures, with highs only reaching around 55 degrees Fahrenheit. Expect strong northwest winds and possibly scattered showers in some regions. Atmospheric pressure will be rapidly rising behind the front. Clev, finicky to poor. Reason, this is classic post-front blues. The sudden temperature drop, strong winds and rapidly rising pressure will send most fish deep, making them lethargic and less willing to bite. Patience is key. Try slower, deeper presentations. Thursday, October 16th. We'll still be feeling the effects of the front. Temperatures will remain cooler, around 58 degrees Fahrenheit, with clear skies and a light northerly wind. Pressure will be high and stable after the front. Clev, moderate to slow. Reason, fish are still recovering from the cold, front and high pressure. The bite will likely be slower, but with stable high pressure, fish may start to become active later in the afternoon, especially if you target deeper areas. Friday, October 17th. A moderating trend begins. Temperatures should climb back into the low 60s Fahrenheit, with mostly sunny skies and light, variable winds. Pressure should remain stable. Clev, average to good. Reason, the warming trend and continued stable pressure will make fish more comfortable and willing to feed. Look for an improved bite in the afternoon as water temperatures respond to the sunshine. Saturday, October 18th. This could be a fantastic day. We're forecasting a beautiful Indian summer feel with sunny skies, light south winds, and temperatures potentially reaching 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Pressure will be stable. Clev, excellent. Reason, these are ideal conditions for fall fishing. Fish will be actively feeding ahead of any potential changes, and the warmer water in the shallows will bring many species up to feed. This is your chance for some serious action. Sunday, October 19th. The week wraps up with another solid day. Expect mostly cloudy skies with an increasing chance of scattered showers in the afternoon. South winds will pick up. Temperatures will be in the mid-60s Fahrenheit, and pressure will likely start to drop again. Clev, good, potentially excellent before the rain. Reason, similar to Tuesday, fish often sense an impending weather change and will feed aggressively. This could be a prime pre-front bite, especially in the morning before any rain moves in. And there you have it, my friends. Your comprehensive fishing forecast for the USA from October 13th to 19th, 2025. I truly hope this gives you the edge you need on the water this week. No matter where you're casting your lines, I wish you nothing but the best. Tight lines, and may your cooler be heavy. Ni fosta, ni cheshwi, as we say in the old country. If you found this forecast helpful, please do me a solid, hit that like button, share this video with your fishing buddies, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming forecasts and tips. And hey, I want to hear from you. What are your plans for fishing this week? What species are you targeting? And what's your go-to fall lure? Drop a comment down below and let's get a conversation going. Your insights help us all become better anglers.